Today's discussion is going to be for not more than 30-35 minutes. The reason being that there would be a lot of questions, and we thought we will keep aside more time for questions. Before we get into the webinar, I would like to briefly talk about the chapter and its activities. As you are aware, IIBA Chennai chapter is a registered chapter of IIBA since 25th of September last year. We are organizing monthly webinars as well as quarterly face-to-face programs, and all of you are welcome to attend all these programs. Those of you who are our members will get CDU credits for attending these programs. And lastly, all IIBA chapters are sponsoring the BA convention, which is an annual event and is going to be held in the month of May 23rd and 24th at Bangalore, and we hope to see all of you, July 23rd and 24th at Bangalore, and we hope to see all of you there, and before that we hope to see you in several more of the monthly webinars that we are going to organize. So over to Surendra and over to this topic of CBAP CCBA certification, common myths and misconceptions.
Thank you so much, Kanan. It's really an absolute pleasure and honor to be part of IIBA, and especially the local chapter in India of IIBA. So it's absolutely my privilege to be here and talking to you, sharing our experience, and we take a lot of pride in being part of such an event. Thank you so much, Kanan, for all your efforts to provide this platform where all the professionals can come together and then we can learn from each other's experience. So thank you very much, and let me not waste any time. Let me start this particular event. So as you know, the topic today is common myths and misconceptions, and what I'm going to focus is I'm going to focus on sharing with you the top 10 mistakes that we have found, which basically is detrimental to the CBAP and CCBA certification that people want to earn. So I'm going to share those things. There is a lot of research that has gone in this particular topic, and thanks to Kanan for really scheduling this webinar early enough. We got a notice of almost about a year, and since then we have been working on this topic because this topic requires a lot of data to be collected. So we are absolutely thrilled to be partner of Watermark Learning. They share the same vision of providing the high quality education, high quality learning to all our partners, and they are really the best. So we are proud to be partner of them. And when we shared with them that this is something that we are going to present in the month of February, they actually were part of this initiative of collecting the data, analyzing the data, and helping us put all these things together, which is more objective. So what we did is, we conducted a survey in 2014 of the business analyst, and we asked them actually how their preparation going on, what are they using for their preparation, what is their experience. We worked with both of them actually, those people who wanted to get the certification and somehow actually did not get to that certification, they did not even write the certification. We also spoke to those people who had failed in the certification, and we also spoke to those people who were successful in the certification. So we spoke to them. A lot of interviews were conducted, the surveys were conducted, and this data that I am going to present to you, this is not only from India, this is also from across the geographies, because Watermark was involved in this exercise of collecting this data. So this is a consolidated figure that is coming to you from over about 400 samples that we had collected. So we will be covering those top 10 mistakes that derail your mission of becoming a CBAP and CCBA. We will also share as we go some of the tips, tricks, and help. How can you watch these pitfalls and be aware of them so that you can really actually navigate through them and earn your certification. And as Kanan said, we will have a lot of time for questions and answers. And in fact, actually, I have also given my email address on the first slide, and these slides will be available. So I have given that first slide address, and feel free to write to me. I will be very happy to reply to you. Okay, before we start, let me familiarize you with the controls that you have got. So this is the window that you are seeing, that is GoToWebinar window, and here actually you see this arrow. This arrow you can use to open or close your panel. So if you click on this, this will go like this, and you again click on that, it will come like this. So you can use that to open or close your window. You can also view these slides in full screen. So you have this view window, and you can do the full screen. So you can see that in full screen. You can test your audio. You can use the audio, which I guess you are doing, and I'm assuming that you are able to listen to me properly. So you can use the audio over here. You can test your audio. You can use telephone, but you will have to dial a US number, I guess. But you can use the mic and speaker of your laptop. So that's another thing. You can go to the audio setup button, and this will help you set up the volume of your audio and speaker. So it will help you set up the volume of your speaker. It also helps you set up the volume of the mic, but you don't need that actually. You can use telephone, as I was saying, and in case of telephone, there will be numbers that will be given to you. You will need to know the access code, that is again actually will be on your screen, and you need to provide that PIN. So you can use that. Now there is a way of asking the question. So there is a chat window over here, and you can write your question. You can write your question. You can share the questions with everyone, or you can share the questions privately to me, whatever you feel comfortable, and I will answer those questions as they come. We have a lot of time in the end, so keep typing those questions as they come to your mind, and I will then answer those questions later on. There is also a hand signal. If really there is something that is bothering you or something that you have important, please raise your hand. You can raise your hand, but do that actually at the extreme ends, because I would like to come to those people. And here my window is very small, so I will not be able to see all the people who have joined. There are many people who are on this call, so I might still actually come back to you towards the end. So again, rely on the questions. So that's what is the control panel. Now let me go to this topic. So first of all, this topic is a third in the series. We had taken, when Kanan was planning these events for the chapter, the certification was one of the themes. And we had planned 3 sessions for that. The first one was the CBAP CCBA application process, tips and tricks. CBAP and CCBA application, IIBA has put in a lot of rigor in that, and therefore actually it is quite tedious, it is cumbersome, it is stressful. And this particular webinar was to make this more easy, make the process easier for you. So that was the first webinar in its series. The second webinar was how can you foolproof your CBAP and CCBA prep? How can you prepare and pass in the first attempt? So in this webinar, we shared actually what is CBAP and CCBA, how many questions come from each of the sections, what are the type of questions, what you can look for, and be aware of how do you analyze those questions and come to the correct answer. So we did a lot of things actually on that foolproofing of your CBAP and CCBA preparation. So that was the second one, the second in the series. And today's topic is logically the third one, which is common myths and misconceptions. So common pitfalls that are there. So as I was saying, the source of this information is survey of several hundreds CBAPs and CCBA candidates. Those candidates who never actually took the exam because of something or the other, those candidates who took the exams but could not clear, those candidates who have cleared the exam. So all 3 people were surveyed, and there were interviews that were held, both failed people or past people, and also those people who did not actually even appear. So a lot of interviews were done. I was personally involved in interviewing many of those people. Most of them we interviewed face on face, and some of the interviews were also conducted over telephone. So that is the source of information that that is the basis of this particular presentation. So let me go through all those 10 reasons that I'm going to actually cover in this. The first one of and very common reason of failing is not enough preparation or not adequate preparation. We conducted this research on those candidates, and this research indicates that if you attend a good training, very good training actually, then you will have to spend about 100 hours for studying for CBAP. So you need to spend, and we have actually prepared also a tool, an Excel sheet, which comes to about 80 hours, so which is very close. So 100 hours you need to spend while preparing for CBAP after attending a good training for 3 days, 21 hours. IIBA has a reason why they ask for 21 professional development hours in their application, because really you don't need more than 21 hours. If you are attending a training which is more than 21 hours or maximum 4 days, you need to really think, are you getting enough overload? Because we have also seen those kind of trainings. Actually, there are people attending those trainings, and there is a lot of information overload. You are overworked while preparing. There is 20 hours of e-learning, and then you undergo that training, and then you go half days of training, and you do the project work. All that actually is a lot of overload for CBAP. That could be good for learning if you are trying to apply that in your work. However, for CBAP, this is too much of overload, and that actually may become a problem. So good training, 3 days good enough, and then 100 hours of preparation. If your training is not effective or the resources are not that effective, it could be anywhere between 100 to 500 hours. If you are spending more than 500 hours, you need to really think, including the training, including taking the exams. You need to really think if those resources that you are using are correct, or the level at which you are studying for the exam is correct or not. Many people failed due to lack of preparation also actually, and sometimes they get a false sense of being prepared, and that is the reason for their failure. This false sense of being prepared, this comes often with the with a very long training. In the training, or some of the people might be saying that 100% guarantee that you will pass, right? 100% success rate. Please be sure that you understand your limitations and your preparation, because you might get that false sense of being prepared, that you have studied so much, the training was for so many days or hours, they have given you some test and your score is good in the test, and then you get that false sense of being prepared. So this has been one of the another reason actually related to preparation. Many times preparation not aligned with certification, as I was saying, information overload, or the training becomes too cumbersome because it is too long and it is becoming cumbersome, and as a result of that you are losing focus. If you learn a lot of things, the human brain actually filters out something, and there are chances that you would have completely not assimilated the course. So you need to see that you are getting the right information, and you are also spending these 100 hours which are related to CBAP. Lack of that has been one of the reasons why people fail. Okay. The second one is either applying too soon or not acting at all till the last moment. When you apply for CBAP or CCBA, your application remains valid for 1 year, right? So many people feel that 1 year is a long time, their application is approved now, and then they will prepare later because of any reasons. Either there is a lot of work at home or at work or whatever it is. So some people actually wait till the end when there is a very less time that is left, and because their application is expiring, so they have to write the test within those weeks or months time, and that's insufficient time at the end. That causes a lot of stress and many time failure. Okay. Also, when you complete your application, probably you would have undergone a training. that training knowledge becomes rusty actually. You are not able to recollect if you really wait for a long time. And when you start preparing, it is all over again, right? Some people who waited too long actually, that was one of the cause. Some people also took it too early. As soon as the application is approved, without assessing whether they are ready or not ready, or the time is good enough for preparation or not, that they schedule the exam. Okay, and they realize later on that this date that they have scheduled was not realistic. They have not been able to prepare, right? And therefore they again go with insufficient preparation, and that is one of the major cause that we found. So ensure that you assess your preparedness, ensure that you act in timely fashion, and you write the exam, you schedule and write the exam when it is appropriate time, when you are appropriately prepared. Do not wait for the last moment. At the same time, do not write too early. Need to be completely prepared. The other thing is using only one method of study. CBAP and CCBA both require a good understanding, and I am underlining this word, understanding of generally accepted practices in the field of business analysis. All right, so they require a good understanding. It is not actually remembering or mugging up. It requires understanding of the concepts. And some of the candidates, they use a single source. The other thing that I have also noticed, there are a lot of discussions that are going on the LinkedIn, which suggest what is the best way of preparing for CBAP. Now, the best way could be good for someone, may not be good for you. So you need to remember what is the best way for you, and I'll cover that in little later. But some of the candidates, they use the single source, because this is what actually someone said, that use this, use a guide or use BABOK, whatever it is, and they use only that resource. Now, IIBA expects you to understand those generally accepted practices of business analysis, right, which could be beyond BABOK. It is understanding of that, right? BABOK is very cryptic. So understanding those concepts. Therefore, if you study another resource like a guide, or take the exam simulator, which actually gives you the similar questions as the actual CBAP, this will help you get a different perspective. It will help you get additional information, because when you get those questions wrong, for example, you will go back to your understanding why this question is wrong, and this helps you prepare better. This helps you answer questions correctly, and this helps you answer more questions correctly, right? So don't rely on one subject. Try to understand the practices. Now, this is the one actually, relying the wrong method of study. And method is wrong if it is wrong for you. It might be right for someone, right? So there is no one study formula that works for everyone. Everyone has their own way of learning concepts, and it doesn't work for everyone. So you need to understand your learning style. And that's why actually I get really concerned when someone asks, share your views, how you prepared it, and the person says that I use A, B, C, and this is how I prepare, and you think that this will work for everyone. It may not be true. It doesn't work with your style. So you need to understand your style. And if you are using that non-compatible method, which doesn't work with your personal style, you will tend to get demotivated. Right? It might prevent you from finishing your certification, finishing your study, because you might find that this is too boring, too cumbersome. It doesn't work for you. There are different methods that different people use, right? So you need to understand your own style of working. For example, I was meeting last week only someone in Mumbai, and this person actually travels in the train, and this person actually prepared completely in the train using an audio system. So he used an audio tool for listening to BABOK and BABOK related questions and prepared. Similarly, there is another person who did exactly the same thing, because he was a fitness freak. He was basically going in the gym and listening to that. There was a third person who did the same thing. Actually, he was in Bangalore, and he was driving, in this traffic. So he did the same thing. Now, 3 people did it. Will it work with everyone? Absolutely, it will not. There are some people who are not the auditory learners. If they listen something, they cannot learn. Actually, they need to see something, right? Then they learn. So understand your learning style and choose that resource that works for you. If you prefer working with others, because that's what actually helps us, many people, a study group. A study group will be a very good source. And IIBA Chennai chapter organizes study groups from time to time. So stay tuned. If you are in Chennai, actually you can use it. So study group may work for some people who want to learn in the group, or for some people actually a class will be better because they want to learn in a structured, facilitated manner that motivates them, then successfully studying on their own. Some people, they prefer reading books, they prefer doing research and reading multiple books. Some people make fantastic notes, so if that is the style, work that way. You can use those resources. Other people can prefer a practical approach, like just focusing on practice exams and simulations and then focusing on what they don't know. So rely on your way of reading, your way of studying, right? And use that method rather than just going with a with a suggestion that is coming from someone. Then another pitfall is not answering enough practice questions. You need to understand what type of questions come and how to answer them. This is very important for the certification. Need to know your exam well, right? I would like to have a full disclosure over here because this may sound as a sales pitch, but I'm not trying to sell anything actually over here. So I'm giving that disclosure that we offer. Watermark offers a CCBA and CBAP online exam simulator, and here the idea is not to sell that. But these exam questions, they are actually told by many people, most of the people, that they are the most important resource that they used while preparing, because this makes them aware of what they don't know, where the mistakes that they are making, so that they can correct those mistakes. Also, actually, it gets you in the right mindset. You expect what type of questions comes, so you are prepared actually for that exam, and you are not surprised by the type of questions that are coming, the type of tone and the texture that those questions have. You know those early enough, and therefore your mind is set for deciphering those questions. So practice exams do help a lot, and as I said, most important resource that people have told that is the practice exam. You can also learn those concepts while answering these questions. So it is not actually it is not important whether your answers are getting correct or wrong. What you need to see actually, if they are wrong, why they are wrong. If they are correct, why they are correct, right? So you learn from your mistakes and you learn from your successes. So this is another important tip actually. People prepared very well, but they had not looked at what type of questions come in CBAP and CCBA, and some of the people were taken completely actually by surprise what type of questions come, because they had not practiced those questions. This was first time that they were seeing those questions, and there are 150 of them. So a lot of questions that you need to read and answer. So this was another important thing. The next one, and this I have seen in absolutely every class that I have taught, trying to reconcile the BABOK with your work experience. Every class I have seen, the attendees who come, they try to actually see what is the real work that they are doing and reconcile this with the BABOK. Okay. Now BABOK is a wonderful guide, but you need to understand that your organizational practices of BA, they are probably not based on BABOK. They are based on the realities that you have. And BABOK is not a to-do or how-to guide. It just gives you generally accepted practices. There is no right or wrong thing, and therefore the practices that you have in your organization may be completely different. So therefore, if you try to reconcile your practices with BABOK, that may not work. Your understanding may be incorrect and your questions will be incorrect. So our advice is set your personal experience aside, and concentrate on mastering the contents of BABOK, because CBAP and CCBA is based on BABOK, right? So don't, go other way. Take the learning from your workplace and try to reconcile this. Also, there is a related thing is that people answer the questions based on your work experience, right? So when it comes to the question, IIBA wants to test your understanding of these practices. And to test these understanding, they put a lot of distractors. These are the words which appear correct, okay? But if you try to actually even think of their definition, those definitions, you will not be able to find the definition. That will not come to your mind. So these are distractors, and they tempt to you answering according to your experience rather than those generally accepted practices in the field of business analysis, right? So you need to be also aware of these distractors, and you need to keep your experience aside. You need to think in a broader sense, what will make your project, your organization, your initiative successful, because that will give you the right answer. Now, another pitfall is trying to memorize BABOK, because when you go to any exam, your understanding is that I need to remember this, right? Trying to remember everything in BABOK, right? So memorizing part of BABOK is very helpful. You need to memorize some form. You need to really, remember and recall some of the things, but you don't have to recall and remember entire BABOK. Okay, because CBAP also has a lot of situation-based questions. Now, for situation-based questions, you need to understand the concepts very well. It does not matter actually whether you are able to recall or not. You need to see what is happening in that scenario, and you need to really then analyze and come to the correct answer. So therefore, memorization of some of the things are important, but you don't have to memorize the entire BABOK. You don't have to have those rote methods of your study, which focuses completely actually on the memorization of BABOK. That doesn't help. That doesn't help at all actually. So I have seen an individual actually who was trying to memorize all the knowledge areas in BABOK, the task in every knowledge area, the techniques that are used in that knowledge area, the inputs and outputs and elements and the stakeholders who are there. He was trying to memorize all that, and it was such a massive information that it was difficult to memorize. And then you are not analyzing. You are relying actually on what you have memorized, which is not what CBAP exams all about. You need to really analyze them. So need to see that you need to memorize the right stuff at the right level, and have developed that understanding so that you can answer the questions correctly. There will be many those problem solving type of questions in CBAP, right? You will be asked to apply your knowledge to answer these questions. There, this memorization doesn't help actually. In fact, it doesn't even help in CCBA in many questions. If you purely rely on your memory, even CCBA will be difficult, because CCBA also tests your concepts, though it doesn't have any situation-based questions. So it does help to some extent. It may help to some extent if you memorize, but pure memory, even CCBA doesn't help actually. You need to there also understand the concepts. Then you will be able to answer the questions. Then another pitfall that we have seen, not starting at all. So I know several people who call us and they want to really get CBAP and CCBA certification. We could really see that they have a lot of motivation to get the certification, but for many reasons they have not pursued it. They have not started. It could be because of they don't have time to prepare, because of they don't have a study group that is available and they want to really go in the study group. Many people actually also consider the cost, because it is a costly affair, right? The IIBA exam cost itself is about $500, right? And then you need to factor the cost of good training and the material that you have. So it is costly affair. So sometimes actually this also puts many people off. They want to start, but they find it expensive. Or some people also not have enough hours of BA experience. Especially this happens with those people who want to, for some reason actually they want to go for only CBAP, and they are falling short of CBAP hours. They might be satisfying the CCBA hours, but still they don't want to go for CCBA, they want to go for CBAP hours, and therefore they don't start. My advice will be actually both certifications are based on CBAP, both certifications are gold standard certificates, and go for it actually. The training is same for both of them. The knowledge that you gain is same for both of them. It is the only difference that counts over there is the BA experience, and the experience you will gain anyway. So you gain that experience then on a solid footing of understanding of those generally accepted practice in BA. So when you have experience on the solid ground, the good understanding of BA, your career will be completely different actually, because you are then practicing the BA task and BA techniques in the right way. Otherwise, you will be practicing that probably in the wrong way. So it helps, and CCBA plus experience is equal to CBAP actually. In fact, if you see objectively, so those people who are CCBA who have less experience, I will say this is an opportunity for you. You can get your CCBA and you can really build a solid career in business analysis, because your understanding from beginning is solid, and therefore you will be practicing it right way. Otherwise, lot of time people need to spend in unlearning the things, unlearning those things which are not right. So that could happen with you. But many people actually also put this off because of this particular this particular problem, that they don't have enough experience and they straight away want to go to CBAP. So these reasons are really stumbling blocks. These are all reasons that is preventing people to start, right? But you can never receive the benefit of this certification if you don't start. And there are a lot of benefits: personal satisfaction, greater credibility. People know you better actually. You have greater credibility, greater acceptance of you as a professional with other people, because they know that you know the stuff and you demonstrate that in your work. So you have greater credibility, and that is the reason why the certified people have greater chance of getting on the better project, very high profile projects. We have seen in organizations where there are BAs who are certified and non-certified. Those BA who are certified, they often put on a much more high profile projects, much more complex projects. Also getting hired as an employee. If two BAs are same, other one has a certificate, that person gets a higher chance to get hired. Also consult on those projects which are highly complex projects and get a higher pay. So all those are benefits as IIB. This is coming from IIBA website, by the way. And we have also seen this in the industry. So if you really want to do that, then you will have to put in that time, whatever it takes actually, you need to do that. So if this is important for you, you better invest in this actually. Invest in terms of the time, in terms of the cost, commitment, whatever it takes actually. Invest in that. It is worth doing that. And the 10th one is not finishing. We have seen some people start but they don't finish. There are many people who get stopped at the application level because IIBA application is too cumbersome. IIBA has put in a lot of rigor, and they really want to live with that rigor, so that they really actually scrutinize each and every candidate and approve only those deserving candidates, right? So application process is cumbersome, and that has actually put some people off, and they started but they did not finish. I also know many people who have started CBAP certification process but actually stalled this out. And because of many people, because of the time pressure, I hear this many times actually, that they have a lot of time pressure at work or home, right? So that is one of the reasons why they have not finished. And the key is to not lose your sight on your goal, your professional goal, your personal success, right? And keep it at, keep your eyes on that goal, and whenever you have time, prepare that. Understand how can you prepare when you have limited time. Even if you have 10 minutes time, we believe you can do a meaningful preparation in 10 minutes. So identify those tricks and techniques. You can discuss with those people who we have taught We always actually advocate of preparing in 10 minutes slots, and they know those techniques. How can they prepare actually in 10-minute slots? So reach out to people, and you can prepare in 10-minute slots meaningfully. The consistency is the key. It is like the workout that you do, right? If you do gym only once, twice, thrice a week, you don't get any benefit. But if you consistently do that gym, actually you get the benefit. Same thing is over here actually. If you consistently prepare even smaller times, you have a lot of benefit, and you get that result and sense of accomplishment. Many people start with BABOK. So this is another thing actually. Many people start reading the BABOK, and they start reading the BABOK without any training, without any instruction, and they did not progress too far. The reason is that BABOK is too dry. So most of the people that we interacted, they stop at chapter 2. They are not able to move beyond chapter 2, and then they assume that it is too complex and too cumbersome for me, and therefore they don't finish. And I will say actually, whenever you have either this situation or your application process you are finding too cumbersome, seek a help from expert to complete your application, and help in the exam preparation to overcome these hurdles. Join the group of individuals where you can socialize, you can prepare also. So look for the initiatives that different chapter comes in the self-study. So this was our pitfall number 10. So these were the 10 pitfalls that I have presented. Not enough time to study, not enough study time, and therefore failing, or not the right resource for study. Applying too soon or waiting till the last moment. So as soon as your application is approved, either you are applying too soon without understanding whether your preparation is up to the mark or not, or you are waiting till the last moment, and not applying at all, and then the time is not there. Using only one method of study, relying on the wrong method of study, incompatible method of study, doesn't go with your learning style. Not answering enough practice questions, and therefore you don't know what type of questions will come in the exam, right? Trying to reconcile your work with the BABOK. So you are taking your work to the BABOK rather than other way, understanding the complete, the best practices or acceptable practices of business analysis. Answering the question based on your work experience rather than analyzing them and answering them correctly, right? Trying to memorize the entire BABOK, rather than understanding it, and not starting, for some reason or the other. You want to do this, but you're not starting, or sometimes not finishing. You started actually, but don't finish. So these were the 10 most important pitfalls, most common pitfalls that we found in our survey and in our interview. And I'll give some of the tips to you how to overcome those pitfalls. And ultimately, you want to be a certified BA, right? You want to come like the one actually on the left-hand side, right? So you choose the preparation methods, the tools and tactics that work for you actually, and pass this exam with confidence. Continuously go with that, because this is a great gold standard certificate that will take you to greater heights. So ensure whatever works for you, and be certified. And here is my email address, my phone number. I will be happy to help you. And this is the time when I take your questions. So let me go to the chat window. Okay. Any question? I don't see any question in my chat window. If you have a question, just raise your hand. I will be able to see if you have any question, and I will be able to come to you. Okay, so Arun has a question, and Arun, let me unmute you. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of questions now. Great. So let me read these questions one by one. Okay, I missed your earlier two webinars. Sorry about it, Sudarshan. I have seen those webinars. They were appreciated by people. I'll discuss with Kanan if some of the webinars you would like to be rescheduled, or write a mail to Kanan actually. He will be glad to obtain your feedback and schedule them. Arun asking a question, why is IIBA not providing the set of right answers once you don't get to clear it actually? Well, Arun, IIBA's objective is to ensure that you develop the good understanding of the concepts, and it is not the question of the right or wrong answer actually. Once you understand the concept, you will see that you are able to analyze and come to the right answers. And IIBA is in the business of developing these standards, and these standards are in the form of BABOK. So they continuously evolve these standards based on the needs of the organizations that they have. So for example, BABOK 3.0 is going to be launched in the middle of April. And this is reflecting what the industry wants. For example, many of the projects, most of the projects in the IT industry, they are moving to Agile. They are getting executed in Agile. So this is one of the focus of new BABOK. So they continuously develop the standards of business analysis, and they leave these questions and other things in the hand of EEPs, endorsed education providers such as us, that we understand what IIBA wants to do, and we provide these study resources to the aspirants like you. They don't want to do these questions. Okay, so that is the reason why they have. Are you planning to have them scheduled again? This is actually a subject that Kanan will be able to do. So these two past sessions, pass your feedback to Kanan, and if there are many people who wants it, I'm sure actually they will, he will be very happy to organize this. Thank you, Shubham, for liking this. Okay, it will really help us realize what we did wrong. Yeah, absolutely, Arun. That is the way of studying for CBAP, and if you get the right type of simulators, that helps you actually. For example, watermark simulator. Again, I will say it's not a marketing thing, so I don't want to say that. But the good simulators should give you a reason why an answer is correct and why the answer is not correct. Has to explain, you develop your concept. What business analysis knowledge and the themes are not applied in that scenario, and therefore the answer is incorrect. So it has to actually give you that reason. Reason is very important. It is not important to just know whether it is correct or wrong. So look for those good question set, and you will find around them. If you want, actually contact me offline, I can show you. Satyam is saying how to calculate the experience when we are cross-functional job. Most are in the cross-functional jobs nowadays. Absolutely, Satyam. And what experience that you need is a BA hours, business analysis hours. And many times actually we don't realize that we are performing business analysis activities. Our title may be different. So business analyst is anyone who performs business analysis activities, no matter what their job title or organizational role is. So therefore you need to understand what are those tasks that are termed as BA tasks, and are you performing those tasks on the job, right? And then count the hours, approximate hours that you have put on that job. So that's how you can really see, even if your designation is something different, you will see that you are performing a lot of BA work. Yeah, and again, actually help me. I will be happy to help you with your application if you have any problem. Then Sudarshan is asking, I am based in Pune. Do you have an office in Pune, or all the training provided online? No, Sudarshan, actually we do not have an office in Pune. We are based out of Bangalore. However, we provide the trainings in 6 different cities, and as we talk, actually, we conducted a training in Pune last week. So just visit our website. There is a calendar that is published for the entire year of 2015, and you can see when the next training is coming. We also provide, by the way, training virtually, so you can actually attend that training on the net. As I am making this presentation, similarly, you can attend the training. Dinesh is asking, I'm preparing based on BABOK 2. So by when we will have time to take exam before BABOK 3 is out? So Dinesh, as I told, BABOK 3 is coming middle of April, and IIBA will definitely give 6 months before they switch the exam to BABOK 3. So you will be able to write BABOK 2 based exam till the end of this year, sometime around November time frame, and IIBA will declare the exact date, when they are switching to BABOK 3.0. So, you still have a lot of time to prepare and write the exam for BABOK 2 based on BABOK 2.0, and your certificate will remain valid even for 3.0. You don't have to rewrite the exam again, right? The same is applicable over there. Okay, most of the time, so this is Amutan. Sundar, most of the time I end up just preparing documents rather than actually performing any analysis. Is it a common issue with other BAs as well? Actually, Sundar, frankly speaking, if you are writing the document, even if you are writing the document, you need to understand actually before you really draft the document. So need to understand the situation that you are mentioning. Sometimes we don't realize, but we do a lot of BA work actually. I can share my experience. I worked in Lucent, and I was part of Bell Labs, and Bell Labs was the research arm of Lucent. They were producing 3 patents every year, so they used to do a lot of research, lot of really innovation. And you ask those engineers who are working in Bell Labs, they will never realize that they are doing innovation because it is a day-to-day work for them. Similarly, actually, we don't realize that we are doing a lot of BA work, so though you are writing only documents, you are actually doing a lot of BA work. And again, we can help you. Okay, Swami, thanks a lot for clarifying. Sudarshan is from TechM. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have answered all the questions. Anything else? Arun, your hand is still up. If you have a question, please type, or otherwise you can make your hand down. Vaibhav, your hand is up. So do you have any question? Okay, Vaibhav doesn't have a question. Okay. So any other question before I hand it over to Kanan? Okay, looks like no. Thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate you joining. It is always pleasure to interact with you. And I will be very happy to work with you. So do reach out to me. Arun is saying, I just went through the training schedule. I see no training at Chennai. No, there is a training at Chennai. If you mail me, I'll write. Otherwise, this schedule is published on our website. Yeah. Oh, yeah. During March, we don't have actually. So because we conduct these trainings in 6 different cities, we also focus on many BA certifications like CBAP, CCBA is one, PMI, PBA, which has recently been launched by PMI. So that is another certificate that we focus on. And then CPRE, which is Certified Professionals for Requirements Engineering, that is basically from IRAB. So that is another certification. So we focus on this, plus we focus on 6 different cities. So, unfortunately, every city gets a chance once in 2 months or so. We are working out to increase our capacity so that we can serve you better. But currently, that is the scenario actually. Satyam, Delhi, yeah. So Delhi also, you can see the schedule. If I'm not wrong, it will be May or sometime actually. You can see that schedule. Okay, anything else? Great. So thank you once again for all this interaction. And let me hand it over to Kanan. Kanan, it's all yours. You are unmuted. Okay, so let me write it. Hi Gaurav, do you have any question? Your hand is up. Can you give the participants from Hyderabad and okay, Swami, I'll contact you. Okay. Hi Kanan, so I am handing it over to you. I am unmuting you. I have unmuted you.
So do we have more questions?
No, not anymore. Lokesh asked, we need 21 hours. Yes, Lokesh, IIBA wants you to have 21 hours of training. Okay, Kanan. Yeah, you can conclude, I think.
Surendra, do we have more questions?
Kanan, we don't have any question. One more came, but the partner in Chennai says 16 hours are enough. No, Lokesh, IIBA requires 21 hours, not 16. And you don't need to have more.
21.
Yeah. Kanan,
21 hours is what is required. And
yeah.
in fact, you know, what's important is that you should base your preparation on 2 or 3 things. One is ensure that you have undergone the mandatory training, which of course you will ensure because that's one of the requirements of the application process. But mandatory training is only the start, and you need to build on that. There are several aspects covered today. What fits you best? You need to work on that. There was some talk about a simulator. So you need to prepare a plan. And you know that one of the 6 knowledge areas is requirement planning and monitoring. So just remove the word requirement and say certification planning and monitoring. So that should be your knowledge area for preparation. So as long as you are able to plan for it, and as long as you are able to monitor and then take corrective action, you know, some of the online tests and simulators will help you to take corrective action. Not focus on another area. You should be able to crack that test. BABOK 3 is coming in April, so 6 to 9 months later the syllabus will change. So those of you who are in the midst of the process, please take note. There's no point in being caught in the middle. Okay? So that's what all I have to say, and I would like to conclude with a vote of thanks to Surendra for you know, bearing with us and all our incessant requests and questions, and coming up with this trilogy of 3 webinars. We will have it again next year. I think we have 3 or 4 different series of webinars. One is the knowledge series, one is the certification series, and the third one is the competency series, apart from some tool-related workshops. So we will come back with this annual list of events or calendar of events is under preparation, and we will be posting it on the website thank you very much. It's 5 o'clock. I think we should be prompt and close on top of the hour. And thank you, Surendra, and thank you all the participants. Those of you who are members and who require CDU credit, you can communicate with me and I'll provide the code. Thank you. Thank you, Surendra.
Thank you so much, Kanan. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.